Alright guys, new video time. But before I get into the meat and potatoes of this video, I got a little bit of a rant. It's about terrible music that's stuck in my head all the time, every day. I got some horrible song trapped in my dome. And I'm a delivery driver. As you can see, I'm in my delivery truck now, not my van. And I deliver to a lot of grocery stores. And the music they play in grocery stores, it fucking stinks. It's atrocious. And I'm in there for like 30 seconds, and that's long enough for it to be imprinted. To be imprinted in my head, and it never leaves. Yesterday it was Hungry Eyes, and I'm just going around all day singing Hungry Eyes like I'm in Dirty Dancing or something. And then, today I just left a grocery store, and it's Bryan Adams, everything I do it for you. Like, that gravelly ass voice. Now that's in my head. I'm gonna be singing that all day. Just hearing Bryan Adams' voice, it makes my throat hurt. Just the sound. So I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm oozing with enthusiasm about what I'm gonna be singing all day. Alright, that's it for the rant. The real point of this video is to kind of go into a little more detail about why I'm doing this. Why I moved out of my apartment that I really enjoyed and moving into a tiny ass van. And it was probably about a year and a half ago when I really started thinking, not like I need to move into a van, but started to really evaluate my life, kind of where I'm at, where I wanted to go. I was just getting out of a really long-term relationship, probably about 7 years, and I was, the first time I had really been like, what am I doing? What am I gonna do? I've got nothing really tying me down, but I've also got like no plans, like no direction or anything like that. So I started to like think about what I wanted to get out of life and how I wanted to really guide my experience. And I'm doing my best thinking in the shower. I should film this in the shower, actually. Then I would actually be much more coherent. But anyways, I was taking a lot of long showers, doing a lot of thinking. And I started to think about, if I live a relatively long, a relatively healthy life, how many days, how much time do I have? How many good days do I get? And I thought, if I live a good, healthy life, I'm going to get somewhere around, to use an even number, 30,000 24-hour days. And, it sounds like a lot, but then I started to break it down a little bit. And, 30,000, a third of it, you're going to be asleep. So 10 grand's gone right off the bat. You're going to be unconscious. I'm going to be, out. And then, barring some unforeseen, fortunate circumstances, I'm going to probably spend 10,000 working, doing something that I probably don't hate, but I really probably don't care about either, I didn't seek out a career or anything like that, so, I'm probably just going to be doing menial work, manual labor type shit. So, there's 2/3, boom, gone. And that leaves me with 10,000 more. I have 10,000 days left that are kind of like mine. And, I started to dissect that 10,000. See, from birth to 16, before I really started working, I probably spent 3,000, 3,500, something like that. So that's gone. That's already in the bank. And then, I started to think about, okay, well, maybe I'll retire when I'm like 70, something like that. And I mean, this is contingent, solely that, I have a long, healthy life. It could be brief, I don't know, but, to continue with the scenario, I retire at 70, I live for 10, 12 more years. I got about 3,000, 3,500 on the back end. But I'm pretty old, I'm incapacitated, I'm not really in the position to, really go after what I want at that point. just kind of a waiting game. And then, the balance left over is like 3,000 days. I have 3,000 24-hour days out of the 30,000. The 30,000 that I start out with, I got 3,000 to do what I want, what I care about, really, soak in my experience, of whatever life is. This transient moment where all the atoms in the universe have made these shapes. I got that brief amount of time to really feel it. And it made me just like kind of depressed about it. I was like, that's not good enough. It might sound selfish, but I want more than that. Like, I'm just a organism, just a biped, and I'm somehow that lucky sperm that made it. And now I got 90% of my existence, I'm just doing some shit that I don't really care about. And I know that there's some people who have really fulfilling careers and they love what they do for a living and all that type of thing. And this is solely subjective. This is all about me. I just thought that's not good enough. You've got to do something now. And that was like the real primary influence that got me off my ass and said, you got to get out of your comfort zone. You're really complacent when you're comfortable. If I'm feeling comfortable, I'm not going to get up. So that was a real strong factor. And it kind of opened up some other doors of thinking. Like, I started to think about just the petri dish that we're conditioned to when we're raised, in America at least. That, like, your goals are kind of given to you. They're kind of the goals for your life, the objective, the book of your life is kind of given to you when you're in school. Like, you're told, even by your family and stuff too. Like, you kind of want to recreate the lifestyle that you're exposed to, and they tell you that you want to get a career, you want to or get an education, get a career, get married, buy a home, buy some property, have some children, raise your children, put them through school, they get married, they have children, you have some grandchildren, you get older, you retire, and then then what? One of you croaks and then the other one's not long after. Like, that's the book. That's the best case. That's what people are shooting for. And that always just seemed like it sucked to me. Like, I was not interested in any of that. I didn't want to own property. I didn't want to, do the career thing. And I just felt like packaging, doing some work, kind of giving you your interests. Like, you're going to be interested in these things, blah, 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 blah. This is what you're going to go into with your career. It's almost like Stockholm Syndrome. Like, they figured out a way to get you to like doing work. And, but I'm also cynical, and I'm a moron. So, there's that. So I never was interested in any of that stuff. I never wanted to own property. I mean, before I bought the van, I rode the bus. I didn't want to even own a car. So I've kind of been a contrarian, even though it sounds really douchey to say that. I've just been a contrarian kind of my whole life. For better and for worse a lot, too. This I'm an advocacy video. I'm not in any way trying to say I have this figured out, or like the way I think is the best way to think, or anything like that, because I'm, like I said, I'm a moron. I don't really know shit. I'm just winging it, just like everybody else. If there's one thing I'm confident in saying, is that I think everybody's just winging it. And if somebody tells you that they've got it figured out, run away, because nobody fucking knows anything. So yeah, I'm not trying to criticize other people, like if other people's lifestyles and how they want to live. That's, totally everybody's own prerogative. But for me, it just wasn't something that was going to fulfill me. So that, in combination with the routine nature of everyday life, and the fact that the brief period, like the Goldilocks zone of your life, that those prime years where you really get to enjoy it, is so brief. I just felt like, all right, now's the time. You just gotta go. You gotta get out, make yourself uncomfortable, and experience life. Experience the world around you. See the continent that you've lived on your whole life and you've, never really seen. So that's a little bit more of a detailed explanation. I'm sure I'm leaving shit out. I'm just kind of rambling at this point. But yeah, so probably gonna make, you know, more videos of this nonsense, just rambling about terrible theories and philosophies and stuff. But I'll make some more videos too about just doing daily stuff in the van, that type of shit. And if there's any specific things that you want me to talk about or make a video about, anything like that, just, you know, leave it in the comment section, and then I'll make a video about it, answering it or showing it or whatever it is. And yeah, so that's it for this one, guys. Thanks.